and second. Boggs ain't going to third. First and second. Yeah. 2 outs per Ormas.
He's been killing us today.
6-10 righty.
Ground ball to third X.
Bell's over there. He's a 1. 13.
Ooh.
E rating. E, what was he? 5? No.
11.
Another error on Bell.
Whoa!
Black in.
For Stapleton? You took your ass out. Thank you.
Well, you already dropped it. You dropped it.
5-6.
Is that a good one?
I don't know. Let's see what happens.
Probably a strikeout or something. Strikeout.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, here today with Bryan Swank. Bryan is not only a Strat-o-matic fan, he is the son of Hall of Fame inductee Tom Swank. Hi Bryan, how you doing?
Hello Mark. Hello everybody.
Good to see you. You're also a Strat-o-matic fanatic. Been a long time coming. Your dad being honored. Your dad truly an ambassador of the game. What are some of your earliest memories that you had with your dad in Strat-o-matic?
Well, probably the earliest weren't as good as one would think, you know, when Mom was yelling at him for playing late at night and guys were going in and out of the fridge trying to grab a cold brew, getting kicked out. But other than that, our bonding time began probably when I was a little older, maybe 9 or 10, and we would play cards and dice games in the park. 77 Dodgers, 79 Expos, and he taught me the game, you know, out on a picnic bench. And our love of baseball was, you know, monumental and matched by my love of baseball cards and going to games. So I always had that love for the game. He gave that to me. So.
One of the things that mentioned about your dad was his willingness and enthusiasm for sharing Strat-o-matic with other people and trying to teach them how to play and get involved in the game. Your dad was an ambassador of sorts. You have any recollections of your dad meeting people, teaching the game?
Yeah, well, I mean, there was a lot of friends and guys that he knew that came over in tournaments and leagues and stuff, but there was memories of guys who delivered the newspaper being dragged into the house to be taught the game, and you know, all the kids in the neighborhoods and their friends, and then going to other neighborhoods that he lived in, guys, kids on the corner being taught the game, and he would find out who their favorite team was and say, hey, you want to play your favorite player in your team? I'll show you how to play the game.
Mom, you should hold things down in here.
There was
Hold the fork down here.
a lot of those types of memories. And then when I was 11 or 12, he had a big tournament at a YMCA in Montclair, and there was like 50 guys. It felt like there was 100 almost, but there was probably like 50 guys, and everybody had different teams, and we played all day. We rented the hall. I met a lot of other players there, and I was just a kid wearing a plastic Texas Rangers helmet, and had a good time. And he just, you know.
So Bryan, if they're inducting your dad, I see here's the plaque.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Wow.
Beautiful plaque. Very commemorative.
What an honor.
I'm sure I'll find a place for it if the wife allows it. On the mantle of Campanella-ism and all the great baseball cards of yesteryear of Johnny Podgers and Fernando Valenzuela.
Well, he raised a son who's a champion too. I know that you're a champion in 2 of your leagues.
Two-time champion in the Tri State League and a one-time champion in the CBA.
So you obviously learned from the best. I remember we had a chance to speak one time, and you told stories about your dad making all kinds of crazy teams. That he would have teams from different countries, different cities, different. What type of teams did your father set up like leagues with?
Well, he had a tournament he tried to do before World Baseball Classic was invented. He was trying to make teams of all players from different countries. So if he had a whole bunch of guys from Panama, he'd have a Panamanian team, a Venezuelan league team, and he would look to see where they were born. Also, place of origin as far as state was concerned. He would maybe do a team of all guys from Mississippi. But this was painstaking process because he would have to go through the baseball encyclopedia. This was all pre-internet, so he did it all by hand. Summers, hot summers, sitting there with the ceiling fan on and no air conditioning, just going through these books.
Your father also, before the days of the internet, he was also somebody who invested a lot of time in card probabilities and chances on the cards. He used to study the cards.
He would make notes, as you know, on some of the cards that you had gotten from me, that he would write on there like super card or super this, super sub. So he would know when those stats would favor a player against a lefty or a righty. Definitely liked the advanced game over the basic game.
So going back many, many years before Lamana Guide and before, the ratings guard, your dad was on top of the cards and was a real student of the cards.
Yeah, he did study the cards. He definitely looked at the columns and saw where the hits were. And as far as pitching is concerned, he didn't care. No, I'm just kidding. But he was definitely at the offense. And not a big fan of the sacrifice. I remember playing as a young teenager, trying to bunt with somebody and him yelling at me in the back, "You don't bunt with Cecil Cooper." Why are you playing Cecil Cooper over Tony Perez? This is Tony Perez's best season, 1977.
So, moving ahead to your experience and whatever, you're also a disciple of the game. What do you predict on seeing, or what are you looking forward to seeing this year with this set, aside from the obvious Judge, Ohtani?
Well, obviously,
what can we expect?
We got a lot of great stealers this year, with the pitchers not holding the runners as well, and it's going to be exciting to see how much running has an influence on the game. Some of the defensive ratings that we know are probably going to be a little bit lesser, so some of those hits might be increased. I want to see how much the ballparks come into play. With I picked this year at a different ballpark in Boston, so I want to see my lefties get the hits to right field.
I've noticed over the years, the ballparks ratings have changed a little bit. I remember in particularly in my leagues I have Coors Field, and whereas Coors used to be that base hits 1 to 20 and home runs 1 to 19, we've seen changes in the home run numbers at Coors.
Yeah, Philadelphia, Cincinnati over the years with big home run parks, and I think a lot of our players prefer the neutral parks, but if you have an advantage in some of your players, you may want to try to exploit those advantages. Of course, players do get traded, and throughout the years your teams may change, but using those ballparks is definitely a tool.
Right, building your teams to meet the ballpark.
My father understood that too as well. He used to really take that into play.
Well, like father, like son. So we have a champion here, like his dad, another champion. Bryan, thank you for talking to us.
Thank you, Mark.